Well, I am so over the moon excited to have such a beautiful goddess and leader, Debra Giusti, with me here today. And we are going to be talking about awakening the goddess within. So good to have you here, Debra. I'm so excited about this conversation because I can just feel it buzzing through my whole body right now. Deborah, the thing I like about you the most is that you are a goddess. You're feminine and beautiful, but then you're also this really powerful leader and businesswoman. So it's like you are embodying both the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, and moving and shaking and creating that new paradigm and really awakening the new feminine paradigm in everything that you do. So thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. I love that your passion and your purpose is paradigm evolution and planetary awakening, because that is really needed in this world today.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, the first question that I have for you today is, what does it mean to awaken the goddess within to you?
Yes, well, awakening is a big conversation of what's happening now to the whole planet. And awakening the goddess is bringing back the feminine principle, the feminine values, the feminine power in her right balance and alignment to the planet and to everyone, male and female, within us. Because as we know, there's been a huge conversation about how the feminine has been suppressed in our current societal culture. In other cultures, as we know, when the feminine was allowed to flourish, there was peace, there was beauty, there was art in the culture, there was balance, there was connection, there was love, healing, and our culture, our world has gotten a bit imbalanced. So it's what's happening now in the planetary ascension, which is this current evolutionary cycle we're in now. We're actually at a cycle where many different larger and smaller cycles are all converging right now and coming together right now. So there's the opportunity for an escalated evolution as the planet itself, as Gaia, evolves to its next level. It's actually going into another sector of the universe that's raising its frequency and allowing it to evolve and ascend. And that's why we're all here right now. This is the party. This is where all the souls want to be, because as she ascends, we can also ascend and evolve our soul. So this is the hottest time to have incarnation on the planet now. And if you scored a ticket to this incarnation, you were very lucky, because there's so many souls wanting to get in right now. So awakening is what we came here to do. We came here to shift humanity's culture, humanity's consciousness, and our personal evolution to the next level, along with the evolution of Gaia. And this has been predicted for many, many years through indigenous prophecy, through spiritual prophecy called the Golden Age, the New Earth, the Satya Yuga. Many, many things have predicted this cycle that we're going into now. And science even acknowledges that the human resonance, which is the vibration of the planet, is going up and up and up. So there's all kinds of documentation of this now. So the awakening of the goddess and the feminine principle is key to this evolution. Many women have woken up now, and your incredible summit here is key to that, and everyone else talking about it. So women are coming into their power, are realizing that their voice, their leadership, their healing, their nurturing needs to be on the forefront of the evolution. And there's also men now who are acknowledging, hey, we didn't do such a good job in the last multi-hundreds of years. I think the women should take charge. So all this is happening now. And along with women coming into their power it is paramount for the men to come into their feminine power, because that's part of the awakening, is for us to balance out the male and female within us. And it gives us access to so many more superpowers instead of just being feminine and using the feminine superpowers or the man. We should all have access to both and be able to specialize in different ones, but not cut off connection with all those values. The men having the superpowers of protecting and serving and handling things on a larger level. The women, of course, for them to be in their power of healing and nurturing and multitasking, as we do so well, because we take care of the whole family and we do all that. So all this is starting to come into balance now as people wake up. What I call the wake up is the ascension process. And that is the accelerated spiritual evolution that the planet is going through, as above, so below, that we are all going through. So it's definitely a process of deep healing, because you've got to heal the dysfunctional parts. And what's happening now on the planet, as we're going through this accelerated ascension, planetary ascension process, and this actually was escalated with the pandemic, because everyone had to stop what they're doing, busy doing, stop, look in the mirror, and really start to reflect on who they were, what their life was about, their relationships, everything. So we went through a planetary awakening, really, and that's what's happening now.
You're answering all my questions before I can even ask them.
Oh, there's deeper levels to go into. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. I love this so much. So I would like if you could dive deeper into what planetary awakening is in particular, because I understand that is a huge and passion of yours and a purpose that you have on the planet at the moment and has been for several years. So can you just dive deeper into planetary awakening?
Yes. Now, if you can remember 10 years ago, the stuff we see on the news about all the dysfunction on the planet, the stuff we see on our phone, on YouTube, that informs us of the dysfunction in the economy, in politics, in big pharma, in child trafficking, and all this stuff that's being revealed now. This is part of this phase of the purification of the planetary awakening. Anything that is dysfunction and of the lower level gets pushed up to be revealed and therefore can be healed. So just like a body that's ill and needs to heal, it starts to purge all the toxins and it becomes really obvious and the body feels like it's sick, right? And that's kind of what it feels like with our society now. Everything's coming to the surface. It was always there 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, but it was buried. Now it's come to the surface for people to wake up, and then they can have a choice of what to deal with. Even the wars that are in our face, it's right in our face, watching what's happening in Israel, in Ukraine. And so we, as a planetary humanity body, can really have a choice of what to do, because there's going to be this critical mass of consciousness that's going to keep evolving and evolving, allowing for a critical mass change in how we do things. So just like what's going on with the planet, all this information, all this that comes up to be revealed and then healed, as above, so below, is happening within us. So we are mirroring what's going on with the planet. So everything that's dysfunctional in our lives is coming right up in front of our face to be revealed so we can choose to heal it. Because what we're doing is when the planet and when we operate at the next higher level of consciousness, it's a whole other level. We're talking about fifth dimensional consciousness, unity consciousness, where we operate, we're all as one. We're talking about operating from our heart. And the feminine principle is so key to all of that. because it allows us to get in that place and have those higher principles. So within ourselves, all the dysfunctions are coming up so we can heal core wounds, we can heal limiting beliefs, we can heal all that. Same with the planet. And again, this has been predicted. It's called the Golden Age. If you read a lot of spiritual scripts, philosophy, even indigenous prophecy, there's a time now for a next 1,000 years as we go through this birthing canal, when we come to the other side, where we will have a planet that has evolved to the next level, and we will have a planet of peace, love, and harmony, which I know a lot of us came here to birth. We call this the new earth. And so that's why a lot of us feel this mission in this planetary awakening to do something, because a lot of us came for this time and knew that we were here to have a piece in the birthing of it. And truly, people are waking up all over the planet. I have in my position here where I can see so much going on, it's happening everywhere in all kinds of countries, in all kinds of ways. People are waking up and realizing they want to create a different type of life, and they don't want to be, confined, blocked in, and they want a life of healing, of balance with the earth, of abundance, of caring for each other, of caring for the children, of all of that. So that's what we're moving towards as we deal with the dysfunction that's coming up that we want to correct. And there are certain leaders that are out there now that are so vocal and talking about it, where people are waking up more and more and more. And it's in all flavors. I mean, even if they're a different type of culture, people all want people to be taken care of, to be in peace, for us to love each other. I mean, it's a basic human nature if you were to choose, consciously. And also cooperation, collaboration is really a key too. So all this is evolving forward as we're in this purification stage, as all this dysfunction comes up, and then critical mass will keep changing. Remember how women for years have been mistreated, totally mistreated on all levels. And then at one point, critical mass happened and the Me Too movement exploded. And all of a sudden, the consciousness changed. And now it's not so cool to mistreat women. It's part of our culture. It's part of what happened. That's the kind of critical mass that will continue to happen with everything that we're talking about to evolve us forward into creating and building the new earth.
Gosh, I love that. That's a really, really great analogy to use. And isn't it true? It's so true. Thank you so much. So do you feel that it's important to do our shadow work?
Yes. I mean, that is critical. And that's why it's coming up so much. The word trauma and trauma work has been so big in the last few years because with COVID, people started looking in the mirror and realizing, God, I got to do some spiritual work on myself. This ain't working. My fears are up, my limitations, all of that. So, yes, in my Ascension Tips program, which we'll talk about, stage 2 is complete transmutation. And that's what we're talking about. After the awakening, which is stage 1, where you wake up and you realize, wow, I'm not just this programmed human suit. I'm much bigger in my consciousness. I can evolve. I can connect multidimensionally. I can expand. I'm unlimited, and there's actually 22 tips that share all that. In stage 2, it's complete transmutation because we're talking about deep core healing of your core wounds, which maybe have been from childhood when your mom said, you'll never be that, when you tried to be a singer and she just shut you down. So your voice, had a little lock on this now, whatever it is for you. It may even be past life stuff or off-planet life stuff. But it's important in this ascension process to really know yourself, possibly work with some healers and guides and go in and do the core wound healing, the ancestral patterning healing, the limiting beliefs healing. Anything that stops you from complete connection with the divine, with your higher self, because that's where your superpowers come in. And that's where you can accomplish anything, including miracles, which is basically being in divine alignment. They look like they're miracles, but it's you being in alignment with what you want to manifest and create. And then boom, there it is in front of you through synchronicity, through just showing up in the field. So it is healing all that stuff that brings you down, that puts you in this negative. Because when you're negative, you can't see anything. You don't have access to source. It just keeps you in this lower vibration. What we're talking about in the awakening, in the ascension process, is raising your vibration and keeping it at this high level of love, of bliss, of consciousness, and knowing when you get into a pattern, like if someone says something unkind to you and then it triggers, oh yeah, no one ever loves me, and you go into these programs that are not really you, they're just programs.
I love what you're talking about, because I just had a synchronicity with what you're saying. I've been doing a lot of my own shadow work, and it was my stepdad that said, "You can't sing," when I sang the song "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston. And I loved that song. It touched me so much. It opened my heart chakra wide open as a kid, and I wanted to
Wow.
share it with my family, and I got shut down. And so I did. I shut my voice down for many years, and I've just been activating and healing and working with my voice. And the superpower is that I want to be a public speaker. I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been a really interesting journey. And the shadow work, I feel, is so important. And I want to ask you this too. I feel like if we don't intentionally and consciously work on our shadow, that we'll end up being forced to do shadow work anyways. What are your thoughts about that?
Yes, when you get on the awakening path, your higher self has taken you on a journey. It will tell you simply, hey, and synchronistically, hey, this is what you need to work on. If you ignore that, it will say it a little bit louder. If you ignore it a third time, you might have an accident that really puts you into some healing crisis where you've got to look at what you need to work on. So, yes, when you commit to the awakening, your higher self and your soul commits to it, you are going to get the lesson. So, you have a choice to be conscious about it and be proactive, or let life happen to you, and then you'll get your lessons and your healing anyway, because this is what we came for now. So we don't want to miss out on that. Our soul's not going to let us do that. It's going to keep saying, hey, time, wake up, evolve here, next step. And it's always, a next leap, into the next somewhat uncomfortable maybe to begin with, and then you start flying. And the world is intense. It's the birthing canal. So, and birthing can be messy at times. So,
Oh, I
so, but
love that.
no, if you tune into your heart, that's what you came for. So that's what we hold as our vision and our path. And we're going to rise up above it all and just go to where we're going, creating the new earth.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Mhm.